All right, so we will just start at the top, go through it. The faster you tell me the answers, the sooner we'll be done. So the first one, how would you classify that by angles? Acute, good. What about sides?
Isosceles.
Good. Acute and isosceles. Acute is when all the angles are less than 90. Isosceles is when two of the sides are the same. Second one, by angles.
Equiangular.
Equiangular, good.
Oh.
And by sides?
Equilateral.
Equilateral.
I can just do flips.
All right, the third one, by angles?
Right.
Right. By sides? Scalene. There is one missing. It's by angles. It's obtuse. So if you want to make a little note to review what an obtuse triangle is as well, that would be in your best interest. All right. So when you're given two of the angles and you're looking for the third interior angle, what do you do?
20 minus 30 minus 20.
130. All right, number 5.
80 minus 90 minus 40.
180 minus 90 minus 40 equals what? Okay, 180 minus 90 minus 40 is 50. Good. And number 6. Yeah, when you're looking for the exterior angle, it's the two interior angles across from that angle, okay? So you just add those,
75.
and you get 75, okay? No 180 involved. Got it? All right, number 7, we have an isosceles triangle. When the two sides are the same, what do we know about the two angles?
They're all same.
They're the same, so x equals 42. It works in reverse too, the flip-flop. So if the angles are the same, what do we know about the sides? They're the same. Good. All right. And when all the sides are the same, all the angles are the same, and what do they all equal? 60. So you're setting equations up, but you're actually not really solving them. They're already all solved for you. Questions on the front. Notice this. I told you this several times during the chapter. There's not a lot of things you're going to need to memorize for the test. Most of the formulas and stuff I give you. Okay, so here I'm giving you the Pythagorean theorem right at the top of the section where you got to use it. So that's a really good indicator of what's going on here. The important part is that you remember that the C is across from the right angle. Okay, so what would my equation look like here?
5 squared plus 12 squared equals 6 squared.
5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. 5 squared is 25. 12 squared is 144 equals c squared. What's 25 plus 144? Good. Take the square root of both sides.
13.
C equals 13. Very good. Questions? All right, 11. Same idea. I'm looking for the C. So the 9 and the 40 go on the same side of the equal sign. What is 9 squared? 81. What is 40 squared? 1,600. Good. When you add those together and then take the square root, what do you get? 41. Awesome. Questions? All right, 12 is going to be a little different because now which one's my C? Which one's my C? And you said B. Does that make any sense? 10 is the C. The one I'm looking for is the B. So that makes 8 the A. So 8 squared plus B squared equals 10 squared. That's 64 plus B squared equals 100. This is where it's a little trickier if you're finding one of the legs because you have to subtract. It's not, I wouldn't say it's harder. So just make sure you're not forgetting it. So b squared equals 36. Square root. B equals 6. All right, number 13. What am I going to do?
A squared plus B squared equals 22 squared.
All right, a squared is a squared. 10 squared is 100. 26 squared is...
225.
What is it?
676.
All right, and when you subtract 100, you would get 576, which is something special, right? When you take the square root, what do you get? What is it?
8.3.
I think it turns out to be a... I thought this turned out to be a whole number.
Yeah, 24.
24, that's what I thought. I have no idea. Did you just type in 57 maybe? Well, double check it so that you know how to use the calculator tomorrow. You're good. Oh, announcement. I checked out our schedule. We cannot get all of chapter 5 in before the end of the semester. So I'm actually pushing it off till January. So this will be your last test of the semester.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a solving equations unit, just a week-long unit, but it'll only have a quiz at the end. So this is the last 100-point grade for this semester. You'll have a quiz the following Friday, like not Thanksgiving Friday, the one after that. So that'll be a 50-point grade, and then your final is worth 2 test grades, so 200. So you got us one smaller one and one bigger one, but this is the last 100-point grade.
If you bomb that test, does your grade go down 2 other grades?
It would depend on the grade, and what do you mean by bombed?
If you
Oh, just like the section above, the distance formula is not something you need to memorize. So here's your hint, all right? So that's the distance formula, but I'm not going to show you how to use it tomorrow. So you need to remember that this is your first x, your first y, your second x, your second y. We start with the x's, so 3 minus 6, and we square it. Then we go to the y's, so 1 minus 5, square it, take the square root. Now, 3 minus 6 is negative 3. But negative 3 squared is positive 9. After you square it, it should all be positive. All right, same thing in the back. 1 minus 5 is negative 4, but when you square it, it's a positive 16. What is 9 plus 16? 25, which equals 5. Boom. Now, I'm not sure if they all turn out to be whole numbers tomorrow. Like, I feel like all these answers are really nice and neat today. If they're not nice and neat tomorrow, notice that it says just round to the nearest 10th. So one number after the decimal. All right, 15 is the same thing. We're going to subtract the x's. So negative 1 minus 7, square it, plus 12 minus negative 3, square it. So that's negative 8 squared, which is 64, plus, that's going to be what, 15? 15 squared is 225? What do you get when you add those? When you add these together? 289? What's the square root of 289? 17. Awesome. All right, so know the Pythagorean theorem, how to use it. I'll give you the actual Pythagorean theorem, so don't stay up all night memorizing it, but you got to know what to plug in where. All right, same thing for distance formula. I'll give it to you. You got to know what goes where. Look, I even am giving you the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So these inequalities will be right on your test. All right, so we're going to do c squared. C has to be the longest one, so here it's the 17, here it's the 25. When they're all threes, just pick one. So 17 squared, question mark, 9 squared plus 12 squared. What's 17 squared?
1, 289.
280. I was going to say, we just took the square root of 289 and got 17, so when we square 17, we better get 289. All right, next one's 81 and 144. What's 81 plus 144? Bigger than 289?
No. It's 225.
225. Okay, so the c squared side is bigger, which makes it what type of triangle? When c squared is greater than or equal to a squared plus b squared, the triangle is bing, bing, bing. Obtuse is our answer. All right, number 17. 25 is my C. It's the biggest one. Here's my question mark. 15 squared plus 20 squared. What's 225 squared?
625.
625. 15 squared is 225. 20 squared is 400. So these are equal, right?
Yep, 225 equals 225.
And when they're equal, what's my answer?
It's right.
Right triangle. Good. All right, 3 squared question mark. You can probably already see what's going to happen here. That's going to be 9. That's going to be 9 plus 9. It's obviously bigger. The AB part. When the AB part is bigger, what do I have? Acute. It's right there. All right.
Acute.
A cute little triangle. Questions?
No.
So somehow in the copy process, I forgot to write in these labels. So RT, you need to label as 15 units. UT, label as 14 units. VQ, label as 17. And then you got to know that RV is 36. All right. So RV is this whole thing, right? The whole median. U is the centroid. I am asked to find RU. Is that the longer segment or the shorter segment?
Longer.
That's the longer one. Do you remember the magical fraction?
No.
2/3 times the whole thing. Now, UV is the shorter segment in the median. That's the 1/3 times the 36. Does anyone know what 2/3 times 36 is? It's the ABC button on the calculator, or if you're using one of my yellow ones, it's like a N/D, I believe.
24.
24, good. Now, you can remember that the shorter one's half that, or you can just start over and do 1/3 times 36. What do you get? 12. Good. All right. Those are the harder ones. I think the next 3 are easy. A lot of students last year just left the whole section blank. Please don't do that. At least do the bottom 2 are like real easy. All right. So maybe start at 33 and work your way up. They get harder as you go up. They get easier as you go down. All right. PU is the next one we're looking at. So PU is the longer segment in this other median. The shorter segment is 14. So the longer one is always twice as big as the shorter one. So how long is PU? We just do 2 times 14. 28. Good. Now, like I said, these last 2 are the easier ones. Remember that these are all midpoints. The points that connect the median to the side, that's the midpoint. So, PV is the same as VQ. How long's VQ? 17. So this one is just 17. All right, down at the bottom, if RT is 15, how long is TQ? 15, but I'm asking you for the whole thing. So what's 15 and 15 put together? 30. This section is almost identical on the test. The difference is the numbers aren't the same. So you can see they're handwritten in. They will be handwritten in as something else tomorrow. All right. Next, could the following lengths create a triangle? This is what we did yesterday, where you add the shorter ones and see if it's bigger than the third side.
No.
This one is 10 is less than 11, which is no. Those would not make a triangle. 35, I have 4 plus 5 is greater than 8. What's 4 plus 5?
9.
Is 9 greater than 8? Yes, so these would make a triangle. Questions? All right, here is the bonus. When the angles are the same, what do we know about the sides across? They're the same. So 4x minus 1 equals 23. This should be pretty easy. How do I do this one? Add 1. Add 1. So 4x equals 24. Divide both by 4. We get that x equals 6. Questions?
Can you go back to the triangle?
I will, yeah, let me finish these two and then I'll go back up to the top. Questions on those? That's worth 3 bonus points. I think you could all get one equally as hard tomorrow. It won't be the exact same question, but same type. Now, what do we know about the 3 angles of a triangle? They all add to equal what? 180. So I'm going to do 3x minus 7 plus 90 plus 58 equals the 180. Now, careful, this is like 90 minus 7 minus 50, or sorry, negative, I can't talk. 90 minus 7 and then plus 58, or you could just type it in like this, negative 7 plus 90 plus 58. The important part is to keep that negative or that minus with the 7 when you're combining these like terms. So what do you get when you add these 3 numbers, making sure the 7 is negative? It might actually be easier to put the negative 7 and the 58 together first. Yeah, because this would give me 51, right? And then when you add that to 90, you get 141. Good. All right, so 3x plus 141 equals 180. Then what? Other way around, but yep. So 3x equals 39. And what's 39 divided by 3? X equals 13. Awesome. So you have the remainder of class to study. All right? The test is tomorrow. We're going to do some, like a triangle exploration thing on Monday. A little Thanksgiving thing on Tuesday of next week, and then we'll start that little mini chapter on equations after Thanksgiving, okay? So last big grade is tomorrow test. Got it?